But Moya, you are going to lead us from here, no?
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for joining at very short notice. I have the ACMS GC team here with us. Tiago is our lead in the project. This is ACMS now. This is the real ACMS, not me. No. So these are the people who write the software, update it, make sure we are happy with the system, customizations, you name it. And then I also have Jose, who is up there or wherever he is on your screen. But yeah, that's Jose there. And he's also part of the team. And then I also have on the other side, Elder Spagnoni, who is the CFO of TransOrange Conference. And then we have Shelton Zuda, who is the financial officer. And then we have Karabo, who is our implementation / IT guy there. So the reason why we wanted to quickly have a chat with you, we were looking at the system and how each place is doing, any issues. And then we noticed that there were some few things that TOC needs to catch up on. And before I even hand over to Tiago to explain the things, I just wanted you to appreciate that you have now implemented quite a number of churches, and the churches are using this as our receipting system now. So it's the equivalent of you giving a church a receipt book, and then you are able to see what they are doing in that receipt book. Now, if 2 Sabbaths pass or 3 Sabbaths pass, and there's nothing receipted in the receipt book, one, the members' tithe is being collected, but there's nothing in the receipt book, then you know there's a big problem. So that's what the system will allow us to be able to do. So I want to just give over to Tiago so that he just starts, giving us a good idea of the power of what ACMS can do for us and what he has noticed with our conference and what are the recommendations that we are bringing to you today. I think as you notice, the way we are going to be working is changing because things are now digital. So what we used to spend a lot of time doing, getting receipt books back from the churches, adding up and making sure everything is cleared, is now being done automatically by the system. So I want us to quickly hear it from the horse's mouth. And then from there, we will see what recommendations we will share with you to make sure your work in the TOC improves and works much better. Is that clear, my elders?
Clear, Bob.
Thank you so much. All right, so I'll hand over to Tiago. I'll mute myself here. Nice.
Okay, hello everyone. First, it's a pleasure to be here with you. We were checking, like Tembi said, some things here, and we noticed that first implementation is a difficult path that we need to take, and if we are not understanding everything, or if there's something that is not moving, maybe we need to talk and check and help. So I think one of the goals here is also to understand if you have some difficulties, how to cover that somehow. And basically what we were checking is like the use of the system. So as Tembi said, we have a way in ACMS to check if the ones that were implemented are putting their tithe and offering there. And this will make a difference. So if they are supposed to use and they are not typing receipts, not sending this, or they are not understanding, or there's something missing, because the system, there's no way to move without, let's say, generating the remittance in some of these things. So when we get a report, and I can show one of these, and there's no remittance, no nothing, you probably have they probably didn't understand and are not using. So we need to check them and see what we need to do, if we need to re-implement them or check if they have questions. So that's the basic here. I don't know if we can show some reports. Yeah. What do you think?
And the reports is going to show us, you can access them, all of us. You can also do this on a weekly basis to see if there are any churches that are being left behind. Then you can catch the cancer before it becomes malignant and the whole body. So you are able to treat the problem very quickly. So this is the new way you are going to be, which is going to help you to manage your churches. So this is something that I think is very important.
Yeah, so there's a few ways, I guess, that we have here in ACMS. Let me just get this ACMS here. is on top. The first thing that usually the ACMS coordinator that is responsible for the remittance is looking is under income check remittance. This is kind of very important because every remittance that you have, that somebody generated at the conference will show here. Okay, and you need to check. So we don't have, let's see all remittance that we have in April, and we don't have any remittance from April. So let's get the next month, the previous one. So we have March here, and we have a lot of remittance. That's a good sign. Okay.
So maybe I can just add that. Go to the bottom.
Okay.
Elders, just make your screen a little bit bigger, Tiago. All right. So as you can see here, the second from last column there shows you. Go down to the bottom, Tiago.
Yeah, just to see
yeah. All right. So the conference funds there, in that month, your churches received 1.2 million. That's the amount of receipts, cash, that was collected in each of those churches. And now what they've paid is what is green. What is black has not been recorded as a payment. So now you already know which churches have remitted and which ones have not yet remitted. So this is very important because now your cash flow as the conference, imagine now if you had all of your churches here, you would now see the total quantum of how much tithes and trust funds have been collected by all churches and how much you are supposed to have received in your bank. So if it's not green, it means that the deposit has not been recorded. And that's something that now somebody in the office needs to be able to follow up and say, hey, Mr. Treasurer, we see that you received 155,000 from Chedza Church Midrand. We want just to find out when the deposit was done. If you sent the deposit, why has it not come yet? And so on, because you don't want to discover that your treasurers are using this money to buy cryptocurrency and then bringing it to church after 3 months. So this is the kind of report which would make your life easy. So Shelton, my elder Svanyoni, you all have access to this kind of report, and it helps you to manage your cash flow at the conference and to know what is happening at the church. You can go ahead, Tiago.
Yeah. So okay.
Anything? Did someone say something?
So you said, Brother Tembi.
Yes, my elder.
When it is green, it's a sign that remittance has been made.
Yes, here you see it's a sign that somebody in the office got the remittance and they have recorded it. So this is a very good report. So Elder Spanioni, you won't need to listen to stories now. You can just quickly go through this and you know whether people are working or not. And you can now ask, hey, I see people are not receipting, what's going on? And then the follow-ups need to be done. And so you will see that a lot of our work, we are going to talk about it, I think, almost at the end, how we might suggest for you to rearrange your tasks in the office, working around ACMS, because all of your work now can be done by ACMS.
Okay.
And that's one thing that is important, that you don't need to activate your churches just for the ones that you have treasures that are able to use. Actually, the recommendation is that, okay, try to activate every church you have, even the ones that you don't have treasures ready, but get the information, then you enter in ACMS. And then we could talk the strategy to do that, but at least you would have all the numbers here and have good reports and understand what's happening with each one of the churches. And then when they are mature to use ACMS, then you can move, then easier actually to use ACMS.
Yeah, just to say it in other words, my elders, what Tiago is saying is that TOC is, let's say, 200 churches. You can activate all of the 200 churches, and even those who are still on manual, as they send their books to the conference, you can now capture that information into ACMS so that ACMS becomes your trust fund report generation tool. So that when it's time for you to send trust funds to the union, you just come to ACMS, it gives you one report, which tells you how much you must send to the union. So this will make your work way, way less complicated. And for your own information, next week, we are meeting the ACMS team and the SunPlus team. We are going to start looking at integrating ACMS and SunPlus so that an upload or whatever method we'll come up with, you'll be able to just download from ACMS and import into SunPlus. And that's like a 2-second operation, and the numbers in SunPlus are up to date. and the ACMS data is also coming through. So ACMS is going to basically take over all of the manual work we are doing in trust funds and manage them for us. So this is why we are very excited and happy to share this with you so that you see why ACMS is going to change how we do operations at the conference.
Yeah. That's very, very important. Please.
Go ahead, my elder Spanioni.
No, I'm covered. I'm just excited.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. And it's good to talk about this, because if we are in a transition here, and if we have two different processes, that takes more time. So as soon as you get all your churches in ACMS, we were talking with Jose here in the morning, it's better. It takes an effort to do that, but then after you have all in the same process, you start to save some time. So yeah. Well, another report that is nice to look once in a while is this remittance. Under reports, you go to remittance and go to remittance control. So if you look this report, you could choose a period here. I would choose this one, last month, because I think most of the remittances you have is monthly. And I just want to choose to know the ones that are behind, that did not generate the receipt, the remittance yet. So let's open this. I will explain how to interpret this report.
So Elder Spanion, while it's opening, this is now you doing this in the comfort of your seat, and you are looking at this report, and you want to see, not to be told, you want to see on your own what is going on. And Tiago will explain the report now.
Yeah, so the numbers that you see here is the number of the remittance of that month. You can see in the top the month. So here, October last year, November, so on. And here we can see, let's pick this church here. They are weekly, so they were supposed to every week to generate the remittance to the conference, and they didn't generate since, I guess, October last year. In this church here, they are monthly, so they started at some point, but since October, we can tell that they are not generating any remittance here. Let's get this one. So this since January, I don't know, maybe they started at January, but when you see one here, that means that they didn't generate the remittance, the process of generating the remittance. So you can see that it's a few ones that are not up to date, let's say, with that remittance by now. So yeah, that's kind of a concern. We need probably to check this church, if they're using, if they have some.
So
Now,
Tiago,
Okay.
what's the difference between a one and a dash? Where they are dash, 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 and then sometimes one? What does the dash mean?
The dash means that there was that is okay, that they generated the remittance. When you get one, it means that the remittance number one from this month is missing.
Okay.
Was not generated.
maybe while you are on that, can you repeat the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the Little 10 church on the top there?
So
That
you
one.
can see here that we have an M and the W here, right? The M is it's for monthly. So every end of the month, every end of the last week of the month, they will have to generate the remittance and pay the conference. This Littleton is weekly. So every end of the week, they need to generate the remittance. And then the system tells us which one of in this case, 5 remittance of the month, they are missing. In this case, they are missing all of them. So the remittance 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So every.
Oh, I see. I understand. Thank you.
This report takes an effort to understand, but it's very powerful to check if how behind the churches are.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one.
So now, to know which pastor to go and attack. Because now you know if the church is doing well and they are out, then those are the ones for during the workers' meeting to say, pastor, your district is doing well. And then this one is not doing well. So you see, this is why it is important for us to have all of our churches on ACMS, because now you will have the whole just one sheet, my elder. You know exactly what's happening. You're not asking anyone questions. You know Mooikloof is not working because there's nothing there.
Exactly.
It's as powerful as that. I don't think there's anything else we need to tell you.
Very powerful.
Yeah, this is detective controls. This is nice.
Exactly.
And this is online, right? As soon as they generate the remittance, it's
updated.
It's updated here. So there's a few other options here for the report. But if you use this one, this is okay. This is good enough. This is the basic one to. We have other status of the remittance, but this church not closed is the first one that you want to know.
All right, no problem. I'm translating.
Okay. Thank you. So I don't know if you have any questions. What more we want to?
Yeah. So my elders, this having been said, I want to see if I can share with you. There's a document that I'm developing. It's a work in progress, but you might appreciate it. Let me just see if I can find it for us. It basically suggests how we might need to adapt or adopt the work in the Treasury Department. You'll see, for instance, auditors, for instance, we have an audit module also that we've been talking to Tiago about, so that your auditors are following in ACMS an audit program that you and the auditors, we can agree on how to configure. And as the auditor looks at any church, without even going to the church, they can start asking the treasurer good questions according to the program, because the system will be able to say, this church has a big percentage of reversals, as an example. Why is this treasurer reversing 50% of all the receipts all the time? The system can tell us that. Then now the auditor is going to ask the treasurer, Mr. Treasurer, why is there such a high reversal? And this is a report, that's an audit report, which is automatically generated by ACMS. Can you imagine, my elders? This is now your auditors doing their work in ACMS, so that you even know how many audits each auditor has done, what are the reports, and the pastors, the treasurer at the church, everything now is going to be done in ACMS. So as soon as people are using ACMS, we can now come up with the questions. I would need us to sit down with your audit side of things, Shelton and the auditors, and say, these are the questions that we want to ask each church. How long is it taking them to receive anything you want to ask? Do you have more than 2% of receipts reversed? If yes, explain why are there so many reversals, and then they can sit down and answer those questions. And those questions are part of it. Do you have any problems with calculating and receiving offerings? The treasurer answers, no, I don't, or yes, I do. This is my challenge. Are all receipts attached by the whatever? So all of these things are questions that we can now sit down and make sure that your audit processes at the conference are digital as well. And I hope you are seeing that the efficiency can actually improve, but that all of that is determined on how fast we are implementing our churches and whether we are following the different steps that need to be done in the office. So let me see if I can share with us. Not yet, let me just give me a few more seconds here. I'm looking for the document itself. Sent it to someone recently. Let's see. So I think you're appreciating, my elders, that the amount of time that some people were doing some tasks is going to change. So we now need to repurpose or reskill the people in the office to do the digital way of doing things now, so that your work might be much easier to work with. I'm still just looking for my my document. Just one moment. Okay, send this to Jonathan as well. Let's check. Just bear with me, my elders. The document that I'm looking for just basically shows that we need somebody to be capturing deposits. We need somebody to be able to do this function. These are the critical functions that will make sure. Maybe while I'm doing this, Tiago, just talk about what happens when the conference captures the church's deposit. What does it do to the clearing account at the church? Just explain that process quickly. Yeah.
So I think I'll get.
Can get Tesda.
Yeah, Tesda. That's the church. So I think you can have access to the financial statement of the church if they are keeping this update. And there's one account that is the conference clearing account. Let me get Tesda here, and then we can see. Let me get since January. What's happening, right? So when we have this concept of batch, we have all the accounts here. Let me just find the clearing account. Too many transactions here. Let me do this. I'll filter here first. So let's just get the clearing account first. The conference clearing account, okay. So now we are just getting this account with the conference, the clearing account of the conference, and you can see here that every time, this is from 7Me, but every time that we close a batch, the remittance and the 50% of the offering that needs to go to the conference, they add a negative amount here. So the church is owning the conference this amount. And every time that the church paid the conference, we have a positive amount here. And this needs to clear, hopefully every remittance, we clear this all the time. So you can see every one of these negative amounts here are remittance from the batch or the amount from the 7Me app. And every time we have this, that's the payment of the remittance. That little green number when they pay here, it turns that remittance in green. And here you can follow and understand everything that is happening with your church in this relationship, right, Andy?
Mm-hmm. So and reversals as well. When a reverse, I just mentioned about so that we don't, Karabo, this is the question we're discussing of what figure must be used to remit to the conference. Just explain the conciliation side of things as well.
Yeah, so I think here we have a record that is positive, and usually these are negative, right? So in this case, this is probably a reversal. So somebody had to cancel a receipt, and then this became accredited to the conference, to the church actually. So this is actually balancing out every time, and every time that they generate the remittance, it will make the calculation to how much they need to pay. And sometimes there's some creditors, let's say, or they need to charge more. In this case, they probably, you can see that it's zero here. But if for any reason they pay more or less than the real amount that the system is saying them to pay, it will add this balance to the next remittance. So let's say if they pay just 200 here, the 13,000 difference, it will be charged in the next remittance. So it will build the reconciliation of everything that is happening in the church, and that's a very important. And this I'm focusing only the clearing account. We have also the other accounts, right?
Yeah. So I hope you're understanding what he's talking about. So if a church pays less than they were supposed to pay, that running balance that they've just created is in this account. And next month, when they do their calculate remittance process, it will include what is owing, because they should always be at zero and never owe the conference. So this is very important for you to use this one, this automated reconciliation statement to do the payment, rather than doing your own manual calculation for you to keep track what receipt was reversed. For instance, the treasurer sits, and then instead of putting money to building, which is a local fund, they put it as part of type. When they do a reversal of that amount now must be paid back from the conference to the local church, we would say the conference must send a check to the church or do a transfer back to the church. But because of this system, it will just reduce the remittance that is supposed to come to the conference to compensate for that error that was done in that calculation. What was sent to the conference was overstating the trust fund. So this is why it's important for us to then look at this and make sure that we use this reconciliation method rather than looking at the reports, the total tithe collected, total offerings, and then say church remit this amount. No. You need to use the remittance amount, because that one compensates for reversals, compensates for overpayments and underpayments, and makes sure that everything is fine. And by the way, we are also going to activate now very soon, maybe this week or next week, we are activating the 7Me app and the people's ability to pay tithes and offerings using their credit cards, debit cards. And that system will now really affect this reconciled amount, because the money will be coming to you, the conference, and it will now just reduce what is supposed to be paid by TESDA to the conference. So yes, let me slow down. Tembi Moyo opens his mobile app and returns a tithe of 500,000. Okay, that money is paid into the conference account. But at TESDA has now collected 1 million physical transfers or physical money that they need to remit to the conference. This reconciliation system will now say, okay, we already have some money that was paid by Tembi Nkosi at the conference. We have some money coming from TESDA. Who is owing who and what is the balance? And then that is what the treasurer of TESDA now will have to pay to the conference, and everything will still balance. So for instance, let's not say tithe, let's say it was building amounts. I use my card to pay a building amount of 500,000. That money must go to the church. But the church has also collected what is conference, which is a trust fund, which is 1 million. So what the treasurer of TESDA is supposed to pay to the conference is just half, 500,000. The other 500,000 is already compensated for by this system. So the TESDA got its money, the conference got its money. So that's why it's not actually quite accurate for you to use what was collected, because the collection amount will be 1.5 million, and now you are saying TESDA must pay 1.5 million, but some 500,000 was already paid direct to the conference in advance per se, because somebody used the mobile app. So that's why that complication, if we are not clear about how that works, it will lead to a lot of confusion for your accounting staff and for the treasurer at the local church. So I hope that is something that you will always be happy with. So churches now don't need to wait for you to send them a statement to them to show whether they are owing or what's been received. This clearing account is the statement which shows the relationship between the church and the conference. So that's something that I wanted to make sure that your work is becoming easier as churches come onto ACMS. I hope you are picking that aspect quite clearly.
Yeah, and you can see here that this difference that Tembi is mentioning. So the conference funds are here, but they can't base their payments on this. They need to base the payment on the column that we have, and in the report that we say the payment amount, because as you can see here in this case, I guess they were owing like 217, but they didn't pay at this month. Mm-hmm. So the balance was adding up, I don't know.
Yeah, it was adding up, yeah.
To the next month. So the next month, I don't know, there's probably more things from the past here, mm-hmm. and then he paid more. So so the system, if they pay more or less, it will manage itself to make sure if there's compensated for a 7Me thing, or even that the person got wrong and deposited less or more, mm-hmm. the system, if you record accurately, the system will manage the rest. So you just need to make sure you're recording accurately.
The other thing that I also want to mention, Thiago, just show us how much is being collected by 7Me versus what is being received manually.
Yeah,
just pick one of the months and then for Tshwane East. So what it's going to do is going to show us that my members are now using the mobile app quite a lot. And that's something that's very significant for you to note.
Yeah.
Look at there's that report, the tithe and offering report that shows you online.
Okay, the summary.
Yes. So I want you to just look at this summary here. It's a summary per church. You have power to pull out all of these reports at the conference. So if you want to see, for instance, the summary for TESDA, how TESDA has been doing, we are going to come here, click on TESDA, and then he's going to just run this report for us. Just pick something like that. And then this is for 03, which is March. This is for March. So if you look here, the total collected by 7 transactions was 131,000. Huh? That's the total, right? Yes, 131,000. And what the treasurer receipted, the total was 87,000. So people are now using the mobile app more than they are using the normal transfer. I mean, the normal putting money in the envelope and all of that. And this is bound to increase once we activate the Visa and the MasterCard story. So what it will say, Elder Sibanyoni, you are soon going to be owing TESDA a lot of money because most of this money is going to come to the conference bank account. And when we do this calculation, it will now say, TOC, please send back so much to TESDA because TESDA has sent a lot of their local offerings to the conference. And that is something that this system will be able to handle for us without any headaches.
Yeah, and if you think if you have less money in the hand of the treasurer, it's less risk of money running away. So the money is going to the conference first, and then you give their part to them.
Exactly.
So that's well, taking apart only the work that you save because the member is doing, nobody's touching the money. That's itself is also a good thing, I guess, to have.
Yeah. So I'm very excited where we are going. It's going to improve a lot of and automate a lot of our work. And all we will be doing is looking at reports, analyzing them, and then SunPlus will also be doing its own thing, importing reports. So a lot of time that we have been spending on calculating remittances and doing this kind of work is going to change. And our accountants now will now be even able to follow up with churches directly because it will take less than an hour to do what you used to take a week to do. And that's something that I'm very excited about. And it will help us not to get qualified in our income. Qualification in income is coming to an end, my elders, because this system will give even your audit, your GCAS auditors will be able to see the reports per church. And if they are not convinced, they can even go and we can even pull out for them the receipts themselves and say, okay, here are the contact numbers of all your members. If you want to test, call the member and check what is going on. And the member will be happy because what they have on their mobile phone in 7Me as their tithe and offerings, the auditor can check that from GCAS, not even the internal one. The GCAS auditors can also check that. So it will help us a lot. I hope we are not with too much data, but we are excited because it will make life very easy and it will make things quite interesting. Any questions so far, Shelton, Elder Sibanyoni, and Karabo? Anything that you want clarity? We can repeat things and take it slowly so that you really appreciate what we are discussing here.
Yeah, I have a question. Okay, Judah, please go first.
Oh, okay. No, I think this is a very brilliant system, and the way you've been explaining it, and I'm happy that you also get the recording afterwards just to go through it as well again. But I wanted to say, how do we an easy way of teaching people to use the 7Me app? Is there a short recording that we can make viral on WhatsApp or otherwise?
What we are going to do once we activate, because TOC is part of the ones that we are going to start with. So once we activate the payment of Visa and MasterCard on the app, I will then make a recording for us, a quick one, and quickly explain, which we can now send and ask churches to play it during offertory and say, here is our new process for returning tithe and offering. Members can now receipt their own tithe and offering without the treasurer being involved. I think that would be something wonderful for them to hear. That if I do tithe and offering on my phone and I click pay and it's paid, the treasurer does not interfere with that transaction at all. They can't alter the record. They can't transfer the money to something else. What I say it must be done with the tithe and offering in the app is exactly how the conference receives it. And that money is safe and it's in the storehouse. So that's something that's a new day. So as soon as we get this done, and as soon as we finish the testing, we actually maybe today or tomorrow we are going to get the files to finish this up. We will be able to see this process in action. And Tiago is just showing us something here. Let's see what he's going to show us here. But I hope I answered your question, Shelton. I will help us create the content, and then once it's ready, we'll make it viral, send it to every church, so that even those that are not on ACMS, they must come knocking at the conference to say, hey, we want to be on this system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Well, one thing that I just want to highlight about this is that, can you see this URL? I don't know if I mentioned to them, but
Yeah.
this is a unique URL for each church. So if you want to generate a QR code and put during offertory, they can scan this and go right to this page. They don't even need to register. They just can put their name and an email for the ones that are not using yet. And then let's put mine here.
Let me slow down. Let me slow down. Let me slow down. What Tiago is saying, my elders, is that we can generate that link there is unique to each church.
Yeah.
So we can put this on a slide during offertory and say, if you want to return your tithe and offering, just scan this QR code and it will open a page where you can go and return your tithe and offering and use your card to make the payment. So there's a code. So let's scan that, for instance. If we went, open your phone right now, go to the camera, and then go to the photo section and click on that QR code. It will load on your mobile phone a way of returning tithe and offering without you even using the 7Me app. So it's a unique thing. Can you see it there, Elder Spanyon? I'm not sure if you saw it, yeah. So now I can quickly come and put my name there, Tembi Moyo, my email address there. And then once this is done, I'm excited because I've never done this before.
So, it's new things for every day.
So I click on continue. It will open up a page where I can put in my tithe and offering as a member, as a visitor to his church. I put in my tithe there and I'll put a little bit of amount. I won't put too much money, 50 Rand. I click continue, then it will ask me, how do you want to give your offering? And then once that, it will now take me to the process of payments. And this is for TESDA. And if I'm doing a bank transfer, it will take the bank transfer. If I am using the MasterCard and Visa card, it will also allow me, the button will show there. I'll click on it, put in my card details. TPO transfers the money from my account into the conference account and issues my receipt immediately.
And the point is, they need to use ACMS first, to be able to be running this. So that's the thing.
So this is quite exciting, as you can see, and I'm happy that we are appreciating how it works. So this is something that I hope you will understand and you will enjoy as well. Elder Spanyon, I'm waiting to hear from you. You are the one I want to hear from the most.
Yeah, no, this is exciting. Just tell me the receipt if I use the 7Me. After finishing a receipt, where is the money transferred to? The conference, the local church, or I choose?
All right. So here, my elder, in this case, right now for TESDA, you click on the banking details there, Tiago. Okay. So somebody return, this is TESDA's bank account. This money would be coming to our church account. Okay. But this is going to change because we want all the money to go to the conference, to you at the conference. So that when I use my card, my MasterCard or Visa card, anything with Master or Visa card, that money will be sent to the conference.
Yeah.
That is the beauty of it. Yeah.
Then so the local church has no record that Brother Tembi has remitted to the conference.
No, it has, my elder. It is part of the local church records. But
he cannot change it.
But they can't change it. It's already done. That transaction is sealed. Yeah.
Okay. No. Yeah. Great.
Yeah. So this will solve some of our complicated confidentiality issues, some of our mistrusting issues that the treasurer might play around with this money. All of that is coming to an end, my elder.
Yeah, man.
So this is beautiful. All right. So now
I have a question.
Yes, Karabo.
I don't know if you're yet to get to this. You had mentioned that you're going to show us the breakdown of the workflow and what's needed. Are you still getting there?
If you will not believe it, my document went blank. I don't know why. The word document is blank. So I will work on this. I'll send you a formal one, but we can discuss the nitty-gritties right now. Tiago. My document just of the
No history of this?
No, I saved it on the Mac, so there's no history. Yeah, but anyway, we'll work on this. I'll sort this out by the end of the week or so. I'll have sent you. But here's the thing, my elders. So we need, for instance, somebody who captures the deposits. So all the deposits that are being sent to the conference, the proof of payments, actually, we actually tell the treasurers now that they don't need to send you anything. Because the idea is that when you open your bank statement at TOC, you must see the TESDA remittance amount. That's all that this person, so you just pull out your statement, this person comes and captures. This is where they do it actually. And I think, Karabo, we've trained you on this, on doing this, right?
Yes. This we have done.
And by the way, the system is a way of importing the bank statement as well, which we are going to work on so that this is not captured by hand. You already import your bank statement as TOC, and each line item, which is a church deposit, you just come and you create into a recording. It will save us a lot of time also. That's another discussion that we are coming to. But you will be able to come and say, okay, this is the church, this is how much they transferred to TOC, here's the amount. And once this is done, now this is somebody's job. So as you can see, my order, this is full time. Somebody's just doing this every morning when they get to work. They log into this section, they capture all of the payments done by all churches, and they put them here, post them into ACMS. And then somebody now goes to check remittance and says, okay, this deposit and this amount they're matching, and marries the two together for each church. That's another job for somebody. It can be the same person doing it, or it can be two people. We can discuss according to our human resources things there. So somebody needs to come now, click on the $ there, and link the payment that was recorded to the remittance. So here, somebody here needs to come and click those two little boxes. If this is all okay, it will now record that Acacia did a deposit for this remittance, and it will also then clear the report on the Acacia side. So the treasurer of the Acacia Church can see that we are not owing TOC anything because all of our deposits have been captured at the conference. So this is one job that somebody now needs to be able to do.
And again, here, the importance to have the amounts matching, because if the amount is matching, when you record the deposit, it's automatically linked.
Yes, it becomes green. It automatically links. Oh, so if we capture an amount, the process of capturing, if the amount equals the amount that was supposed to be remitted by that church, if those two agree, it's automatically linked. There's no one who clicks anything there. It's happy.
If not, then you have to
come and do manual for whatever reason. Maybe the August Trust Fund was not done in this case, or whatever the case. Then that is something that we need to do. So, but the system is designed to automate a lot of our work and make our lives easy, from the auditors to the Sun. We are coming to SunPlus, as you heard. We are soon going to be importing this information into SunPlus. That means no one is typing anything, my elder. We are just doing this. And once that happens, we fully do that cycle. Now we will have time to call each church treasurer, and if there's a problem, Diepkloof zone number 4, I see that you collected 24,000. We have not seen the deposit. Is there a problem with the bank? Now we have time to do the real work, which is making sure that TOC's cash flow is strong, and we don't have issues of liquidity because of delays coming from the churches.
Yeah.
So the work is changing, Pastor Sibanyoni. We need our minds now to start thinking. The people who are sitting down, adding up receipt books. No. That is not work anymore. Work is now doing what we are showing you, which is very important. So we need somebody to capture deposits, somebody to make sure that this process here of checking remittance is done properly. We are linking the things that are not being linked nicely. If there's a problem, we are checking what happened. This is another job description item that is very important. So you will see that things are changing, Elder. Then, of course, we still have the people who do the implementation. Karabo's team now needs also, we now need to even move some accountants and say, okay, we have 2 people doing the recording of deposits, and we are also dealing with this check remittance. Now, the rest of the team, let's go and implement churches. And you can even do a target, Pastor Sibanyoni. I want an accountant to do 5 churches per week. They go sit down, they sit down with the treasurer, they enter those balances. After that, they implement, train the treasurer how to receipt, and information is coming into the system, and we are happy. When that process is done, we repurpose them again and say, okay, now we need 4 people to be recording deposits. We want 4 people to be checking remittances. We want 4 people to be doing this process. And that will change how we do work in the TOC office.
So if the two amounts in those two boxes, there's a difference, say in cents, it
Yes.
won't link.
It won't link, Elder. It will tell you that there's a problem.
Okay.
Then we can say,
Which will have to be solved manually.
no, automatically. In the next remittance,
You will
that 2
check.
cents will be part of the next remittance.
Oh, okay.
There's
Yeah.
no problem. You can check and be okay, but next remittance will charge the
Yeah,
difference.
it will tell the treasurer, hey, so show them the remittance in here.
Yeah.
So look at this, my elder. I'm going to quickly click on one church here. I want us to practically see what we are talking about.
Let me do this one, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, I guess.
Are you busy?
So here we have all the bets that they had in one week, I guess, or the whole month, I guess, and the amount of the remittance. But you can see that the remittance to pay is actually different. It's more. Why that's happening? Because at some point they didn't pay everything, or they didn't record everything. So the system is trying to get the money that the church is owing to the conference. So that's why we are always trying to reinforce that this is the remittance to pay is the amount that they actually need to deposit. If they pay less, then not the next remittance will also have the difference. So yeah, I don't know if you have other point here, Temi.
Yeah. So I hope you are seeing this, my elder. This, and if there are any reversals of receipts, it will balance this out so that we are not. Oh, there's a reversal there. You see that one, elder? There was a duplicate there by Karabo. Hey, fortunately, received by Karabo. There was a duplicate. He corrected that. It auto-adjusted how much the church was supposed to send to the conference. So we are always balancing with the churches. No more need, elder, to have a discrepancy which we are failing to reconcile manually. Test that has been paying to the conference. Now in Sun Plus it's different. All of that is coming to an end.
Yep. Great.
All right. So that is wonderful stuff. So elder, I will send you. I'll sit down and send you the new job descriptions, new tasks that need to be done. And then we need to have a treasury meeting now where we are going to restructure your department and say, okay, Linali 3, now Umsebenzi is capturing deposits. Linali 2, you are doing this. Linali 4, you are doing this. And then we have those teams with auditors. Now you're no longer do manual audits. You're going to come and do your audits in ACMS. And this is the audit program. As you are answering these questions, it auto-generates the audit report, my elder. I don't think we want anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so work is changing, my elder, and this might help solve some of the big headaches we were having in TOC, because now there's no excuse. Everything is balancing, and if there's a problem with the treasurer, we can now recommend to the church board, a letter to the church board to say, we are recommending that you either assign assistants to this treasurer because they are slow, or please replace them with somebody who has time for the Lord. Because they are always late. They are a CA, they are chartered accountant where they're working. They have no time for God's work now. So let's get somebody who is able to do that for us.
And one thing on that thing is that sometimes you have a treasurer that they are not very computer savvy, right? So the system, that's not a problem. You could have a lot of assistants. So people that are new, they computer savvy, they don't need to handle any money. Just handle the envelopes without the money and type everything here. So there's option also to, if you have difficulties to people enter the system. So
just to add to what Tiago is just saying, my elder, we have some churches that are big. I mean, membership 700 or so, and you have one treasurer there. That's too much work for one person to do. So we are recommending that we want to make sure that for every 50 people, there's an assistant. For every 50 members in a church, an assistant, so that these people are being supervised. Did I get it? Okay. They are being supervised by the experienced CA who is busy at work. All they are doing now, the CA is looking at reports, making sure things are balancing in the local church. But there are these young people, even senior youth, who you entrust with, who can now actually do the actual capturing of receipts and so on. And the main treasurer, their job is now making sure we are balancing, everything is okay, and paying trust funds to the conference. That is also another approach. It will make our treasury work in the local church very easy and very fast. And then people can now attend Sabbath afternoon programs. instead of receipting the whole day.
Yeah.
Maybe Tembi, if I can come in. I think we have in the conference introduced a rule that no matter how small a church is, there must be no church with one treasurer. There must be a minimum of 2 treasurers because it's an internal control as well.
Hallelujah. That's powerful.
Just the rule. Yes.
Yeah, that's a rule. So you get, when we analyze some churches that are big, we'll be able to say, because of the volume of transactions, we need to have more assistance in it. And all of this, Elder, because you have the data now, you don't need to wait to hear from, you can see, you can go to a page which shows you how many receipts were. Let's go to Tesla. Titan income report, income, Titan offering. Yeah. You can see the quantum of the work being done manually, and you can say, for this church, we need more people working here because there's too much. Go to 3. Okay, so look at this one here. This is you at the conference. You can see the actual receipts now. This is actual receipts. So if you scroll down, Tiago,
and you can see the 7E and
you can see the 7E people. You
no
can
need
see,
to type this one.
Yeah, you can. Those ones are the automated ones. You can see if this page becomes too long, then you know this church needs to have assistance. And come audit time, my elder, if the GCAS auditor is really worried, here are the people's email addresses. They should send them and test if these people are the real or the money is not real. They can test the income now directly. And you can also even just open one receipt for us, Tiago. You can actually see the receipts as well. If you click on that little QR code, you can see the breakdown. Look for mine there, Tiago. Let's see real information. I want to see the history. Show the history. Yeah. There's Togo. Yeah, there's Togo. Yeah. Click on the QR code there. So look at this one. So this is Mrs. Moyo's Titan offering pattern. If you look at this receipt, it will show you for each member. They will see. Just make it big there, Tiago. This is real money. Mrs. Moyo has given tithe of 61,000, offering of 14,000, a total of 75,000 from the 4th of from April 2021 up to date. This is what the member is seeing on their own side. But also you have access to this, which if you want, if the auditor is really becoming a problem, this is the backup. And some of these are done by 7Me, by the member themselves, not even the treasurer of the church. So I don't know what other evidence they will look for, my elders. This is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. Yeah. I think this is Brian from the union joining our meeting, so don't fear. So this is powerful stuff, elders. We will now be doing quick small sessions where we talk about how to do different things, but the system is now starting to work. So I think my job is very easy now. I will just give you recommendations of the roles and the model of how your treasury department can now adapt to using this system and the different internal positions that we can do. Then you can sit down on your own and say, okay, these 2 can be done by 1 person. These ones, we need 3 people, this one, and so on and so forth. They need to make your life much, much easier. Yes, Tiago.
And as important as we mentioned that the treasurer needs to type the receipts, do the expenses, and generate the remittance. Here at the conference, the main roles and things we need to do right now is to capture the deposits that is here and close the remittance. Can you see the little lock here? That means that we don't have anyone closed. They're fused with the deposits, and even the ones that have the deposits, they are not closed. So we need to make sure, and if you go, I guess, for the February, the same thing. So maybe we need to check, but this is also important to make sure that things are.
Yeah, remember that report that we're seeing the ones in the dashes. Yeah. It's affected by these activities. So we need somebody. So here is a summary. We need somebody to capture deposits, my elder. Very, very, very easy one. And we will work on importing this bank statement. It will make our lives easy. Capture the deposits. That's task number 1. Number 2, come and check remittance to make sure everything is okay. And then close the remittance for the church. This will now produce the report we need to use to send money to the union. So this is part of the process, and it will make life very easy and very good.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are the 2 critical ones. And then also implementing of churches. That one we can't overemphasize. For these things to work, the church must be implemented. We need a team of people just implementing. Even if, elder, you have a target to say, we are currently in April. For the next 4 months, we want to just leave skeleton staff in the office doing this part. The rest of the team, let's implement churches. That will make your life easier, Elder, because once that 4 months is done, this now will be full of all of your churches, and people will now just be coming into click and close things, and the reports are being done, and your tithe and remittance is transparent, things are moving.
When a report is closed from a church, what happens to that lock? Does it disappear or what?
Let's lock one for you. Deverton, there is green, so we are sure that things are okay. We are going to lock together there. So there we go. It is ready to close. Once you click on close there,
yeah.
Now you see what it looks like, my elder. The lock is gone. And now you have a report of the churches that are closed.
Yeah. If you see the details here.
If you look at the details, look at that detail. Now you have a report. If you want a report, that's the report that you can now look at. It will give you the details, the accounting entries there, how much was collected and how much was paid. And now you see who closed it. There's the name of the person who generated the remittance and who closed it. And we have the GC closing our remittance there for us.
Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm happy you're appreciating. So this will now be part of your backup if you wanted it for SunPlus. We are going to see how we work this out. Maybe if we get very smart, it will auto be part of the attachment also generated into SunPlus, so that when the audit time comes, we can prove to the auditor we collected trust funds of 34,000. Here are the receipts. If they want to pull out their calculator in auditing and start adding manually, it's up to them. Our work is done.
Yeah.
Are you happy, my elders, Banyon? I'm happy now.
Yeah,
now that it's clearer now, because we have data from TOC. It was difficult for me to explain these things when you are not seeing. There's no information. So now I'm hoping it's much clearer.
Yeah. This will really change the way we do things.
Yeah, definitely. So I will take some time while the team is still with me, my elder, and draw up a workflow that we are going to share, document. We are going to dedicate some time, a few hours to do this. Then we will share this document with you and say to you, Elder Spanioni, you need to have a treasury meeting. Here are the roles that need to be filled. You know each person's skills. Some things don't need an accountant, some need a clerk, some need somebody on attachment even. And then this here is an important role. It needs somebody who understands financial issues and how to look at how the system is balancing between the church and the conference. We need somebody with this kind of skill. We will also recommend the skill level as well. And then that will help us as we go. Then you can put people in the right place. And now as you monitor the work, my elder, you're just waking up in the morning and you click and say, gentlemen, we cleared 10 churches yesterday. Why didn't we do 100? Now you can ask questions, and now you know if things are not happening here, they are not happening in the local church. And now we have a problem. All right, so my elders, that's all we wanted to discuss with you, to say we have a lot of work to do. We need to reposition. So as a matter of priority, we are going to send you that document. And if you have any questions, we are still around. You can schedule a meeting with us on Zoom, and then we can discuss the details and then help you implement it. And then your conference will start shining quite nicely.
I missed the introductions. Tiago, where is he coming from? I'm sorry to ask.
Okay, stop sharing, so that they can see everyone nicely. All right. So, Tiago, okay, let's start with Tiago first. Tiago is the main guy who is in charge of the project, the ACMS project, both the membership and the treasury side. So they speak Portuguese. That's why the English is a bit interesting.
Thank you for the interesting.
He's based in America or Brazil?
In Brazil.
Okay.
Yes. So this is Tiago, and then next to Jose is Diago. So Diago and Jose are also part of the team. So we called them to come to help us with Angola Portuguese speaking and Mozambique Portuguese speaking. So that's what we've been working on. Okay. So I think while we are here, please just check for us to see if things are okay. What do we need to improve? And these are some of the recommendations we are giving you now.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So by the way, before we go, Elder, I want to show you something so that you have another picture here. I'm going to share my screen. Where's my PowerPoint now when I need it? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, maybe, Mr. Tembi, while you are sharing your screen, I think we need to also districts on the churches as we want to integrate with SunPlus, so that at least.
Yeah, that is already taken care of, my brother. We already realized you need your funds, your restrictions, all of those. We are discussing that, so that the input that's going to end up in SunPlus has all of those details. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. All right. So look at this, my elder Spanion. This is iTech. This is where these guys are coming from. That is the building, their office where they work. And this is the whole South America and iTech team that is managing our system. So that $1 we are paying, my elder, is making sure these people continue supporting the system. Yeah. So this is very, very important. This is the bigger team. Then we have a smaller team here, which is directly in charge of the ACMS project itself. These are the people who wake up every morning to make sure that the system does not go down. If there are any issues, like we are recommending, they are the ones who change everything. So this is the main power that is there. So this is what we have always been discussing, that the system can do receipting, and this is how the treasurer does the receipting. I think we are now kind of used to this part of things, and this is the receipt which shows the history of the giver month by month. If a treasurer skips, the member now is our auditor elder. The member is the internal auditor now, because they are seeing their own offerings. They are not waiting to see an envelope in their mobile app, in the paper, in the PDF, in the email, everything is. Yes.
Sorry to go back to that screen. So I've got a story. I've got a church where the treasurer skipped them. They recorded this person's receipt as not yet a member. Okay. And whenever she receives her receipt, January is blank. And she keeps on asking, why is January blank? Why is January blank? And now, as you're saying, the member is the auditor. So when the members see their receipts, they are seeing that, okay, everything that I've sent over these months has been recorded.
Yes.
But it's nice to know that there's a way to link that one-time receipt to the member, so it fill up the.
We will show you that fix, Karabo, so that the unidentified receipt can now be linked to the member, so that generally stops missing. Yeah, that's powerful, right?
Thank you. Let's do that. Hey, the treasurer is crying, man.
Thank you so much.
It's good to see that they are checking.
Yeah, the members want to see their tithe and offering. They will not mess around with that one. So that one I'm happy about. Very happy. So this is the online giving. I was saying, my elder, the app now is going to be helping us. And this is exactly what they see on the app. They'll see their tithe and offering button there where they can go and do their tithe and offering. And by the way, my elder, we don't want to activate everything at the same time. So we do things step by step. Once we finish implementing all the churches, we now have the ability for the local church treasurer to capture, using their mobile device, all of their backups for the expenses, for instance, so that when the auditor is auditing, they can see that the amounts and everything, the invoices, everything is happening together. The auditor, unsaidly to say, you might need to increase their seating allowance. They will not need to travel to the church anymore because everything is now being digitally. So that's something. We can now say, if an auditor hits a target, we are giving you a bonus. We turn the travel budget into a bonus so that people are working by faster. That's the suggestion there.
Hey, that is nice.
So these are some of the things that the system will be able to do for us. And I think we have been talking about this, the remittances, the reporting, and this is the summary which we have been looking at, the reports to show how much tithe was collected, how much 13 Sabbath, all of these things are there in automated church boards now. Reports for church boards, we are able to see how we are doing as a local church, income versus expenses, all of these things are part. At the conference, control of remittances, what we're just discussing now, you are able to see on one screen the whole conference and how much money you are receiving at the end of that month in cash, because this is not a pledge, it's money collected. So we need to make sure it ends up at the conference. So this is something that I love the most. And then we are integrating with DPO. I showed you this one. The DPO issues, Shelton, we are soon finishing this party to make our lives much easier and make things. Then the importing the reconciliation between the bank and the church funds. We can now import bank statements and link all of our church remittances to things. This is something that we're also working on. We will implement as we go. We are testing already. Then integration with accounting. All of those things are going to start happening. Tithe distribution, when you do your report going to the union, it will show you exactly the tithe, how much was collected from each church without anyone sitting down to type or add anything. For me, that's a new day, my elders. So let's get there. We are getting there. This is the kind of report you will have. It will show how much is going to the GC, what is the division portion, what is the union portion. And this is what now you will use and link to your payment to the union. So this is a good day. The conference amounts, you can see how much you got as the conference. The report is clear, my elder. Automatically. No one touching a calculator or Excel anymore. This is all a report which all of us will be able to just get quickly. The auditing, I mentioned the auditing part. This will be something that the auditor is able to do. You will have sections, we'll sit down and say, what do you normally cover in a normal audit? The financial transactions, the advances, and anything else, expenses, you will have questions that we can put in each category. When those are answered and satisfied, the report will be generated automatically. And then the pastor can sign it off. It then can be presented to a church board. And the conference also, you will now see all of your reports and all of your audits that are done automatically. So, Pastor, this is I don't know what else to say, my elder. For me, and church at risk. I mean, if a church is not doing well, the risk profile will now show, hey, this church is in the red. It means that things are happening. They are behind. They have not remitted to the conference in the past 6 months. Where is the money going? Did the treasurer take money and go and buy cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin? What is going on? So those are the questions. Now we will now just deal with the problem churches. The ones that are green, we don't talk about them. Tithe reflectors, all of those things that we are talking about, the percentages, growth, and I'll stop here, my brother. I think the truth is evident before you.
No. Thank you so much, Brother Thembi Moyo and your team. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I'm happy to know that this will make our lives much easier. And for your information, ACMS Treasury is handling over 1.2 million receipts per month now, worldwide.
Yeah.
So this is not a small thing, my elder. Churches using the Treasury module, over 28,000 churches. Churches giving online using Treasury module, also over 28,000. Conferences, you are part of them. 110 conferences, 22 unions, 3 divisions, and 16 countries. So this project is not small, my elders. It's a real project. Yeah. And then the mobile app as well. I'll share these with you so that you are able to see reports at the conference. You'll be able to see all of these, and we'll give trainings and introduction to all of these as we go, my elders. So that as you make your analysis, you will have proper data now to know what is happening in the conference. Because we guess a lot, my elders. I think we can agree. We have the Holy Spirit inspiring us, but there's a lot of guesswork. When you do your budget, my elder, you will now get information that helps inform your budget. Where should we put money? Where is it lacking? What do we need to prioritize? All of that will be, your decision will be backed up by real data. And I think you'll be very happy about that, my elder. Yeah.
We are converted.
Good.
We will send some people to baptize you. We just need some water, and then we will
baptize. No. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So my elder, we'll keep in touch. I'll communicate via Shelton. Then if we need to have another follow-up meeting before the gentlemen disappear into another time zone, we will do that for you.
Sure.
Have a good day, my elder. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, gentlemen. Thank you.
All right. Maybe you can maybe if there's any other comments, then you can pray for us, my elder. We need your prayers. This job is interesting and big.
Sure. Let's pray. Father, we want to thank you for this presentation. It has opened our minds to a lot which we need to do as a conference in terms of moving fast with the times, technology. We thank you, Lord, for blessing this team. May you continue to bless them as they move from division to division, conference to conference, implementing new ways of doing things, which will be very beneficial to us as conferences. We praise you, Father, that you have given this insight to these men. Continue to bless them and their families, and help us, Father, to grasp these things so that our conferences can run more efficiently. Bless us now. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Elder. We will talk.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Tembi and your team. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.